Guys, sorry for the delay in this video. Back when I shot this video, I was pumping about 40 ounces a day. Right now I can do about 47. I even had to stop pumping because I was pumping so much and I had so much milk stored already. I decided to just give the pumping a break. So pretty much what I do now is I pump once a day for milk in the refrigerator and keep that so Oliver can use or the kids can use to feed the baby. What I do for my pumping routine is that I try to get my first pump in the morning right when the baby's still half asleep. So this is about 6 in the morning. I get a first good pump and I pump about 12 ounces in that one, and then right before bed, so for bed for me, so after I put the baby to bed and he's fed, what I do, I wait an hour or two and then I pump before I go to bed and I get another 12 ounces. So even if that's the only thing you do, I think that would be beneficial for you, because sometimes I know it can be inconvenient if you don't have the time throughout the day to keep steadily pumping. But I will tell you this: if you're going back to work, pump, don't stop. Bring the pump with you, bring it in the bathroom, take a break, and make sure you're pumping. This way you don't decrease your milk supply. Hey guys, Nardi here. Welcome back to our channel. I have baby Caleb with me. He is 2 months, say 9 weeks exactly, 9 weeks. All right, and today we are going to talk about our breastfeeding. This is the second, so this is part 2 of part 1. So 1 of 2, 2 of 2, right? So if you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and do so. I'm going to post that link up top where you guys can see that, and it's going to be in the description below as well. So this video is just pretty much going to pick up where we left off from. Right, Caleb? See, this is a product. He's a product of the breasts, right? So he's only been breastfeeding. That's it. Breast milk. That's it. All right. So if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe, guys, and follow us on Instagram, right? Because all the fun happens in our stories, right? You good? Are you pooping? No pooping. Are you tired? Huh? You just gonna go to sleep now? Want me to rock you? Okay, so guys, I have some notes. This way I can stay on track and not lose focus, right? And we don't talk about too much of what we already spoken about. So before I even get into all the details and I want to do this breastfeeding thing. It's awesome for you and baby. Great bonding. Right? Exhaustion for you. Let's talk about it. It is exhausting. So I can tell you this: if you are going to breastfeed, you need to have patience. Right? You side-eyeing me? Tell them they need to have patience. Right? It's going to take some trial and error sometimes if you're a new mom for you to get it right, but don't give up. You need to breastfeed often, right? Baby is going to want a lot of milk, and I know like within those first couple of weeks it's gonna feel like the only thing the baby is doing is feeding and pooping and sleeping. That's it, and you're not even getting any of that sleep that he or she is getting, right? Let me see how he's looking at me. He's asking me up. Yeah. Sorry. back to the people. Huh? All right. So yes, it can be exhausting, but you can do it, right? The first, I want to tell you from experience, if you're in the hospital and if you feel like you and the baby aren't doing well with the breastfeeding, the hospital should have a pump for you. So you need to ask them or bring a pump with you. Again, I had spoken about that in the previous video, saying that most health insurance companies, they do give you pumps, right? So if you feel like you're gonna have an issue with breast milk, or just to even be prepared, have that on hand for you, for yourself, if you don't want to use the one in the hospital. I know personally I wouldn't want to use the one in the hospital, but it's an option there. But make sure you have your pump with you, and that's another means. So this way the baby is still getting the good stuff, right? They're still getting the milk until you guys can get that both work it out. As I said before, my first one did not go as well, and I ended up pumping more, and then I got so frustrated and ultimately just gave up and switched to formula. Don't do that, okay? And again, that was my new mom mistake. What's the matter, huh? What? The first, I would say by day 2, the baby's going to be cluster feeding. Cluster feeding mean like it feels like they are just here for the boob, right? So again, be patient, stick it out. You could do it. They're going to be feeding a lot. When they cluster feed, that's when they, you know that they're growing, right? And they're actually getting their milk. Somebody was hungry. Oh yes, guys, if you don't have a nursing pillow, invest in one. Hands free. Right? And I'm gonna tell you, like, if you're breastfeeding and you're sitting up breastfeeding, that arm is gonna hurt just by holding, cradling the baby. It's gonna hurt, or you're gonna want to rest it on something. But this nursing boppy pillow, they're the best. I've had them with all 3 babies, and we could just chill. Like right now, I'm doing my online schooling, and it's easy. I just have him here. I'm typing away at the keyboard and doing things, and or folding laundry. You know, we moms, we have to multitask. So if you don't have the boppy pillow, get one. Right? Nursing pillow. All right. So let's go. I don't use a pacifier. It's up to you if you want to use a pacifier. I personally don't feel like if you're gonna breastfeed, you should use a pacifier. A lot of times in a hospital, they're quick to give baby pacifiers, and I know some moms, they just automatically buy it, thinking that they're doing the right thing because baby need a pacifier. We've never pacified with any of our kids. Caleb is not on a pacifier. He goes to go to bed well. He doesn't fuss. As long as he's fed and everything's good. Again, it's personal preference. That's just for us. I don't like the whole pacifier, carrying it everywhere, dropping it on the ground and sucking it. And then sometimes with the pacifier, the baby's just getting air, and that can make the baby colicky and fussy. And you don't want that. I don't want that, right? We had a colicky baby with Nyla when she was just doing the bottle. So you don't want colic babies. But again, pacifier, personal preference, up to you. But I do want to tell you that, like, the nipple of the pacifier has it's a different type of nipple, right? And sometimes it could cause nipple confusion for the baby, just like the bottle. So if you're gonna do that, I would hold on until the baby gets familiar with your nipple before you even decide to stick a pacifier in their mouth, right? If I know some people are like, okay, what about the pacifier, and or I just don't want the baby to suck their finger or whatever. You could get those scratch mittens, or even some of the clothing comes with the fold over, where you can fold it over their hands. The baby's gonna put the hand in the mouth regardless, pacifier or not. But if you don't want them to accidentally start just sucking the thumb or sucking any finger, you could just cover it up, right? And or use the scratch mittens as a way. And that's what I did initially with Nyla, and that turned out really great. And we even do it sometimes with him, because again, they're using their hand or their fist or whatever just as a soothing mechanism, not necessarily sucking. Right? You playing? I thought you were supposed to be eating. Yeah. All right. So make tips to know that the baby's hungry. Don't automatically assume like the baby's hungry, let me just shove the breast in the mouth. And you just have to get used to the baby and familiarize yourself with their cries. Every baby has different cries. Like at this point, I know Caleb's cries when he's hungry, when he's tired, when he just want to be held, when he wants to play, just because he's looking for attention, right? So those are things. So just don't automatically assume baby's hungry, let me just give him the boob. And that can be draining for you too, right? You can do like little swipe your finger on their cheek and see if they turn their head towards you. Sometimes they'll search for the boob. A lot of times they'll do the boppy head thing and they're searching for the boob. So they'll give you signs that mommy, I'm hungry. All right? When you're breastfeeding baby, smile all the time, right? And then they will start smiling back. Right now, Caleb is smiling a lot. He is very playful, right? So you want to smile a lot with the baby. If you can, occasionally do skin to skin. Take off their clothes, take off your shirt, do skin to skin, because they love that, right? make sure you're switching from breast to breast. So if you breastfed on this boob, now, like I'm breastfeeding on my left side, the next time you breastfeed on your right, or if you could tell that if the baby's been breastfeeding for like 10 minutes or so on one, you can just automatically switch them to the other so they can finish on the other side. There is, in my nighttime routine with baby, I had an awesome app that showed how you can do it can track your breastfeeding, breastfeeding, poop, things like that. I'll put the link for the app down there. I think it's called Feed Baby or something like that, where you can log in and track it. So if you're a new mommy in the hospital, they make you track it anyway I believe when you're in the hospital, just to make sure you're staying cognate of what's going on, because I'm telling you, when you're tired and you're like a zombie, sometimes you don't even remember like what just happened, right? Or what boob did I last use. So you can use that app for that. And it also has like diaper changing, tracking, immunization, growth. It's a really cool app, so you guys can use it for that if you want. So let's get to the pumping, right? So if for us, we did 1 month, right? With every baby, we do like a whole month of breastfeeding first before we introduce the bottle. That's just my personal preference in reference to like letting the baby get familiar with the nipple and me, and I just get that good bonding time. And I'm gonna tell you, it takes a lot of patience and I want to say strength to get up in the nighttime and still nurse and do it in the daytime for 4 weeks nonstop, just you. It does. But you can definitely start sooner. You could start pumping so you can have milk in the refrigerator, and you have those stored away. So if you have a partner, they can help you, or a family member, or a big kid, they can help you with the feeding of the baby in the daytime. So maybe you could catch a nap. I would say for us, we started 4 weeks before I started pumping, and he was about 5 weeks before we did the first bottle. For the bottle, what I did, I introduced the bottle to him, right? So this way he can get used to taking the bottle from me, not anyone else first. And this way he will take the bottle from you, because they have some babies that when you breastfeed them and they're so used to taking the breast, they'll come out and just be like, give me that titty, right? But you want them to get familiar with you and you giving them the bottle. So mommy, I would definitely recommend that you give them the bottle to start with, maybe once or twice a day. And it's just, again, it's easier to go to the boob because you have it. It's right there. You don't have to wash anything. You don't have to warm anything. But for your sanity, especially if you're going to go back to work, you definitely want to start introducing the bottle. And again, you be the one to introduce. I've had friends, even family members, that babies won't take bottles from them because they never gave the baby the bottle, right? So you could do that. And if you're having a difficult time giving the baby the bottle in the daytime, you could try at night when you wake up to give them the breast. Instead of giving them breast, give them the bottle. This way they are not really aware, and they're kind of hungry anyway, so chances are they'll take it. So that's like a technique that you can use for the bottle, and this will help you when you go back to work and when you're trying to wean the baby off. So as time progresses, you want to start giving them the bottle more and more and less boob. This way it will be easier for you to wean them off. So what does that mean for you? You have to be pumping. So you want to pump as often as you were breastfeeding, now that you're doing milk to bottle, right? So you want to pump often. And for me, I do pumping in between feeds. So like, say if I know, like right now for instance, I know he just did a little bit, he didn't do a lot, I will pump or if he only stayed on one boob, I will pump the other boob simultaneously. Like, so while he's breastfeeding, I'm pumping one, right? Or if he nurses on both breasts, I'll just pump like maybe an hour or two after he's nursed. So you want to pump in between feeds, right? Another technique that I do for the pumping to get a lot of milk, like I can pump, I want to say 1,000 milliliters a day, right? Because right now I'm trying to like stock up, but I'm also taking my time with Hawk, because you know the milk only lasts for like 6 months to a year, depending on where you have it. I think a year is a little bit pushing it. So I want to eventually stop breastfeeding. I want to say about 6 to 8 months in, like how I did with Naomi, and just be straight bottle. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be giving him breast milk. I'm just going to be pumping it. So right now I'm pumping to save, and I pump to put in the refrigerator too, so Oliver can help out in the daytime. He doesn't get up in the night. He cannot survive in the night. He's not a night person. So I still get up and do all the nursing at night, and then he does like a morning feed when he's before he goes to work, and so I can catch that extra hour or two, and on the weekends. That's pretty much it. So things that I do to help me produce more milk or just have a good milk supply, again, breastfeeding often, that will help you. And the second thing I drink is the Mother's Milk organic tea. I was drinking this with Nala and Naomi, and it really helped. And I only drink it just like that. So I steep the tea bag for about 10 minutes and drink. I don't add any sugar, no honey. It's up to you. So the reason why I like this brand instead of any other like aids to help produce milk, based on my research and things that I know that's worked for me, you want 3 ingredients in any supplement or herbal remedy that you're gonna use to help with your milk supply. And this is just, again, based on my personal research that I researched that actually works. So the 3 ingredients is fennel. You see it, Fennel. And then you have fenugreek, and then blessed thistle, right? Those 3 ingredients, you want to make sure it's in there. And if you look at this box is just all herbal stuff. It says a blend of spearmint, Western Indian lemongrass leaf, marshmallow root, a whole bunch of stuff. But those 3 ingredients, so they're fennel, fenugreek, and blessed thistle, right? Those 3 things. And also, based on what I researched, you want to make sure it's something that you could drink rather than a pill. So the liquid form, anything with those 3 ingredients that's liquid, they work best based on what I found researching. And again, works for me. Drink a tea. I drink at least 2 tea bags a day. And what I do, I save the tea bag, so I use the same tea bag twice, right? Okay. For the pumping, if you're having issues with the pump, most of the pumps come with this standard. This is a Medela pump connection, and you put it on the nipple and it comes out, right? But sometimes if this hole is too big and your nipple is much smaller, they have a different connection that you can put on to this piece. So you may want to try that if you're having issues with the pump. I know I had to switch out mine because what happened is that it made my nipple really sore, and it created like a blister on my nipple, and I was in so much pain. I ended up having a clogged milk duct, and I had to keep nursing just to get that pain relief from the milk duct. And I got a different connector for the breast pump on that one. And it's so crazy because I only needed it on the right breast. If you're like me, where the left side is bigger than your right side, or you have that one breast that gives you more milk than the other, that's my issue that I had with that. And I had to switch out the connection on the pump, right? Again, be patient, drink a lot of water, eat, Take your vitamins. You're still using your prenatal vitamins because you still want baby. If you're breastfeeding, doctors say you have to give vitamin D, right? Because they don't get it from the milk. You can wipe off the baby's tongue. I use a washcloth. I put my finger. They have like this tongue cleaner, which I think is pretty weird, but it's like a rubber thing and then you just put it on, but I don't use that. I just use a regular the baby washcloth, put my finger and wet it, and then I clean off. What I do, I just put my finger in its mouth and hold on, let me show you. So this is usually like the baby washcloth. One side is coarser than the other. I use the coarse side. And I put my finger just like this. I let him get the finger. There it is. And then once he has it, I can feel his tongue on my finger, and I'll just wipe from side to side to clean off the tongue. Right? Right? And he doesn't gag. So I just let him put his tongue like he's almost sucking, and I just clean it off, wipe it off. And oh yeah, it's wet usually. This one is dry. So it's wet when I do that. Alright, I think that's pretty much everything that I got, right? Oh yeah, guys, before we go, just a few quick, this one, the nipple butter cream. This, if you are using the regular nipple cream and you are looking for a nipple. Oh, one more thing, guys. This is the nipple butter cream. Someone asked me about it. I can't remember who it was. But this one is vegan friendly. It is not made with lanolin. What is lanolin? Lanolin. Look, you know, there's the word lanolin. Why can't I say it all at once? Oh, here it comes, the poop. But lanolin is actually, look, I'm messing up the name, right? Because for some reason I just cannot pronounce it. But this is, so again, mommy, be patient. Patience is everything. It will happen. Drink, eat. Huh? Are you pooping now? Huh? Yeah. Alright, guys. So if you have any questions, be sure to comment. Give this video a thumbs up. You tired? Follow us on Instagram, and we will catch you next time. Say bye. Blow them kisses. Mwah. Mwah. Yeah. Mwah, mwah. Bye.